Forgot to turn on my microphone. Hello, hello! It's Adan, and today we are playing Alone with You, at least. Depending on how good and or long and or engaging this game is, we might also play another world after it. But we'll see. This might turn out to be a pretty good, decently sized game. It is called Alone with You. Its subtitle is a sci-fi romance adventure. I have no idea what it actually is. Thanks to you too, I have been holding my breath every time I pass a food offering today. Good. That's what you're supposed to do in order to get past safely. If you didn't watch yesterday's stream, Rar Suga is referring to Detention, which is a very good game. It's also a very scary game. But here we go, Alone with You, sci-fi romance adventure. I likened it to Mass Effect on my social media, but I don't actually know. Oh, there's a face. This game saves at certain points automatically. If you see this indicator, please don't turn off your system. Got it. Oh. Okay. Sci-fi romance adventure. This might be a visual novel, actually. I'm not 100% sure. Music and sound design by Ivor Steins. Hope I pronounced that correctly. Let me know about the sound levels. Seem fine on my end, but just in case. Oh, it's not a visual novel. I get to move around. I don't know what I'm doing. Do I just walk? Oh. I think that's lightning. I guess I gotta get out of the... Look at that perspective. Ah. Design and story consultation by Mike Doucet. Return to Colony A. Sure. Art by Benjamin Rivers and Gavin McCarthy. Thanks. Story design and programming by Benjamin Rivers. I think that's the floopy-haired boy we saw at the very beginning. Is this actually like Metroid? The sound design is very much like Metroid. To the command hallway. Let's do that. Okay. To the hollow sim chamber, inaccessible. To the main hallway. To the ship. To the crew. To the AI core. Probably inaccessible right now. I guess I have to go to the AI core. Is that who I'm alone with? The AI? Sync mission data with AI core. Ooh, interesting. Well, that's a good face. I'm glad you made it back. I assume you were at your usual lookout over the rift again. You must have seen the worsening situation out there. Did you notice the planet's instability on your way here? No. Our survival here would benefit it if you paid a bit more attention. Let's take this opportunity for a little sit-rep. The situation is unfortunately quite dire. The Hudson Cartier terraforming project has failed. 16 years of work has been undone. I apologize for being so direct, but would it shock you to know that, by my estimates, we have less than a month to survive? What? I'm afraid so. At the current rate of decay, Epsilon Eridani B will be nothing but space dust in 3 weeks. We still have an escape ship here in Colony A. It is structurally sound, and I believe I can help you fly it so we can escape. If we can transmit an emergency signal to the home office, we can likely intercept a company vessel in our ship and gain transport back home. The problem is there are 4 key systems on the escape pod that I can't repair, and you aren't trained to deal with it by yourself. But I have an idea. It will require the use of our holosim chamber and a little bit of human connection on your end. You see, there were 4 other colonists who could have saved us if they were still alive. Winnie Laurier was our communications expert, and she could help us repair the navigation systems. Now, how does that make sense? Pierre Tong was the colony director and an engineering genius. He would have been able to assist us with the thrusters. Leslie Baradwaj ran the agrodomes, and I'm sure she could have helped us maximize the ship's life support and food processing. And Jean Lumumba led the resource management teams. He could have shown us how to best keep the ship powered and stable. You and I can head out to find materials information, but only these 4 could have guided us in fixing the ship. If we can use the holosim chamber to recreate these 4 key colleagues, oh, it's a holodeck. It can still help us in a way. I know it's a long shot, and it's going to be a little unusual, but if we work together, I think we can make it. So that's the plan. Before you go to your quarters, though, let's register your name so the holograms know what to call you. First name, huh? Let's go with something gender neutral. How about Joe? Just Joe. Yeah. Alright, there you go. Okay, you've entered your name as Joe. Is that correct? Yes. Excellent. Also, we recently watched Little Women, and Joe was the best character. The Greta Gerwig, Little Women, which is excellent. Excellent. I'm glad we got that straightened out. For now, just head to your quarters and rest. You'll need it for tomorrow. Okay. Thank you, AI. I like his face. Or its face, I guess. Their face. I like the AI's face. Because they have pentagons for eyes, and that's pretty cool. Soma vibes? No, cannot be. No Soma vibes. To your private quarters. Ooh, my private quarters are a mess. Rest for a while. I got a good bookshelf though, that's pretty cool. But like, look at what's going on over here. Why do you just leave all this stuff? Your plants are dying, man. Alright, let's go rest. They don't show you their face. Joe's face. Well, I hope I get to fall in love with the AI, because right now the AI seems the cutest. Day 1. Alright, here we go. Good morning. I know you've just woken up, but as we discussed, time is of the essence. How are you functioning today? Are you well? I guess. That's good. Your task will be easier if you're well rested. Please come to see me again in the core at your earliest convenience. Look at my bed. It's not the most comfortable bed, but it's all we have at the moment. At least with nobody around, you don't need to worry about its appearance. Oh, that's why my room is a mess. Look at your desk. Yes. You've left an empty photo frame, a rag, and some non-functioning equipment there. Where's my bookshelf? The shelf is full of titles on a variety of topics, including sociology, terraforming, and engineering. What? I'll never understand why people prefer physical books to their digital counterparts. How come you don't have any, like, you know, science fiction or fantasy or vampire romance? There's going to be no severing of body parts. This is a sci-fi romance adventure, not a horror game. Just head north to the core and we can discuss your mission for the day. Alright, let's go. Alright, buddy. Okay, Joe, last night I scanned what's left of the colonies in hopes of finding material we can salvage. I think I found a few good leads. I think it would be best if you first go to the comms relay and find 5 communication devices we can use for the escape ship. The comms relay is where Winnie Laurier was last known to be. Hopefully you can find out some more information on her on your trip as well. When you're ready, you can go south to the shuttle bay and pilot a course there. Alright. We're going to the shuttle bay. Shuttle bay. There you go. Use the shuttle. So I need to go to comms relay. Yes. Oh, I can control this a little bit. Interesting. I wonder if that will be important later. It's probably been a long time since you've been to the comms relay. I don't believe you had occasion to come here often, if at all. When the other colonists separated, this was considered a prime location, but only one person really had the expertise to make good use of it. Remember, you're looking for components we can use to power the escape ship's communications. 5 good parts should do it. Alright. Enter the comms relay. Why am I the only person here, right? Oh boy, even from here I can sense how damp and musty it is in there. It probably smells to you like an old puddle. The server room is locked, so I have to open that somehow. I can use the elevator. There's nothing else here. Oh, R2. Oh. Field notebook. This looks like a standard issue field notebook. Most of the colonists use these as well as data pads. The notebooks are inexpensive and easy to transport, and studies reveal that humans enjoy physically writing on paper. True story. That seems rather inefficient, but I suppose tactility is important in forming emotionally impactful memories. Speaking of which, this looks like, well, it looks like the beginnings of some sort of fiction. That's interesting. It reads, the last interview with Paula M. Paula had suffered a long and arduous struggle against the dark, and now, in her final moments with it, she relented to its questions. These are the only pages included with this notebook. If you want to read the rest, we'll have to find the other pages. Ooh. I would like to look for more of Paula's story, please. So it goes up from here. Do you want to go up? Yes. I can't do anything else right now. How are you doing so far? Do you need any help? No, I'm good. You're very resourceful, Joe. If you need a reminder of what you're doing while you're in one of these facilities, just press L2 and I'll help. Alright. Great, thanks. Anything here? Tower bridge exit. The locker room, which is locked. I can use this elevator. Oh, this elevator goes even higher. Alright, let's go to this tower bridge exit. Oof, what's going on here? It's a series of torn pages, likely from that notebook on the first floor. It looks like the story starts here. The dark. Why struggle? You know I've been here. I've been waiting all this time. Why didn't you give up? Paula. It's not in my nature just to give up. The dark. Really? I'm not so sure about that. For a long time, even amongst your peers, you gave up. Or at least you seem to withdraw from them. Isn't that like giving up? Paula. I don't think so. The dark. That's interesting, because they did. The further you isolated yourself, the less they felt like reaching out. Didn't you notice that? Yes, I noticed it. I assume there's more. Maybe you'll find more pages as we press on. It's interesting though, isn't it? Sure is. I thought so. Hopefully we'll get to read the rest of the story. We should continue. Open relay conduit. It's an open relay conduit. It looks like someone had repaired this terminal more than once in an attempt to continue transmissions. There's some clever work here. Your scan will help me configure the ship's communication parts to be more redundant and failsafe. Now we only need 4 more communication parts from this area. Okay, so that was 1. Good. Wait. Small pile of physical books. All colonists were issued datapads with e-reading abilities, but I suppose that wasn't to everyone's liking. There are assorted philosophy titles from old human writers. You can see very neat notes written in the margins. The first page has a monogram on it. W. Clearly Winnie. Winnie was living out here. Alright, we going back in? Yeah, I think we're going back in. Alright. Go upstairs some more. Yeah. This elevator goes up from here. Do you want to go up? Yes. To conduit room. To conduit room. To systems administration. Let's go systems administration. Oof. That's a standard issue bedroll. They're made of highly dense microfibers, so they're very lightweight and yet warm. It looks like someone has been using it as a habitat of sorts. Very curious. Antiquated technology. There's a hoard of old Earth technology on that dusty shelf. Amazingly, several of the pieces are still functioning. Someone must have collected these old computers, sound systems, and radios. Your scan will help me to fabricate something inventive for the ship, I'm sure. Now we only need 3 more communication parts from this area. Okay. What's this? It's a portable safety light. They use sophisticated LEDs and can last for over a year each. The lamp looks like part of a little setup, including a bedroll. Someone must have been sleeping here. Please keep me informed of any other interesting details you find. Will do. Those special foil wrappers were used for food and snacks, but of course you already know that. You know, it took over 10 Earth years of R&D to develop food that could travel such distances and still be palatable. Because of the efficiency with which Hudson Cartier transported colony deployments, a lot of food could be included. Previous colonial missions were less successful because of inefficient cargo and food stores. Of course, until the agrodomes were built, you all had to subsist on just these various portable stores. It's a standard security panel. It must be what locked the other doors in this part of the relay. Are you going to turn off the security locks? Yes. Good. Now everything's open. Large pile of books. You found a hefty stack of books there. These ones are mostly adventure stories. You humans do seem to love these kinds of fantastic tales. We do! Most expositional litter ever. I don't get why people in games rip out pages from their journals and leave them all over the place. Because then there wouldn't be a game. The owner really did prefer physical reading, I see. They surely had access to digital versions of all of this. In fact, there was an entire database. As with the other books, these bear the W monogram. Alright, so let's go to that conduit. Conduit room. It looks like a further set of pages from the Veil notebook on the first floor. The story continues. So what made you change your mind? You're here, talking to me now. You wouldn't have entertained that before. What changed? Well, this is the end, isn't it? There's no one else out there, so I'm talking to you. You know that's not true. There are still others out there. You can hear them on your radio. But they don't know that. They don't know I made a new radio. No, of course not. That's what makes you so interesting. You withdraw, but in your way, you still reach out. You just don't want anyone to discover them. Paula falls silent for a moment. The story sounds like it's getting serious. I'm curious, who are you siding with right now, Paula or the Dark? Neither. Maybe you're right. We should see how this story plays out first. For now, let's move on. I mean, I think she's talking to... There's certainly fewer components in that tower than you might think. I don't believe that drones finished fitting it as well as the others. As the construction of the colony's prefab elements continued, resource allocation estimates often became skewed. Too bad, really. It's a remote service panel for running diagnostics and checking alerts. It's been jury-rigged to allow non-standard signals. This work is unconventional, but I can use this to boost the signal in the escape ship's distress beacon. Now we only need 2 more communication parts from this area. Good. Alright, so we go back downstairs. Yes. In this room, yeah, unlocked now, the locked room. Stack of pocket-sized physical books. I see. Looks like they're mostly guides to social interaction and workplace issues. I suppose whoever owned these books was, as you say, boning up. Is that what you say? Not really. Oh, I see. Then they were practicing, or at least studying, in regards to social interaction. Curious. I guess some people say boning up, but not me. Portable terminal. It looks like that portable terminal still has a tiny bit of battery life left. That model was known for being quite long-lasting. I can use your scan of its components as a guide for making the escape ship communications equipment more efficient. Now we only need 1 more communication part from this area. Oh, was there no, I guess no torn pages in this one, in this room. Oh wait. That appears to be a heat-absorbing synthetic blanket. It looks like it was hung up on that conduit. What do you think it was used for? Towel? A curtain, probably. Perhaps it was used to block a nearby light. Though thin, those blankets appear dense to the human eye. Why else would it be hung up, right? Hanging target. Oh, so just in case you're wondering, oh yeah, I mean, I used to just accept it. Then one day I went, who does this? Who writes a diary entry, tears it out, and leaves it on the floor? Whoever. A post-it, I can totally understand. Maybe they were writing the story, right? And then they were like, no, this is a terrible story, and they ripped it out and they just threw it. But then why would they throw it in different rooms? I don't know. It is very gamey, I admit. It's very, very gamey. Anyways, anyway, I'm wearing my my Nerve t-shirt from Neon Genesis Evangelion because because this game is a sci-fi adventure romance, so was this show. This show had the greatest romance of all time, which was Misato and Beer. Yes, and that's why I wore it today. Alright, so this also had... No, not... here we go, yes, server room. Use bedroll. Lots of people living here. Are these the last torn pages? I think so. Yeah, it looks like a further set of pages from the field notebook on the first floor. The story continues. So who do you listen to most? The gardener woman? The drone leader? The self-appointed director? The... Interrupting. William. Sometimes he still broadcasts in the old colony. He sends me little messages, actually. And why him? Why William? He was so important here. He kept things working. He kept things repaired. He was essential, and nobody really gave him the respect he deserved. So what? Do you think you can relate to him? I don't know. Of all of them, I think I just understood him the best. When he stopped communicating, it felt like the end of the world. Well, when you think of it, it might be... Excuse me. Well, when you think of it, it might be. You said it yourself. Paula gives the dark a cold, long stare, the toughest she can muster. There's no point in arguing the inevitable. Paula doesn't say anything. That seems to be the end of the story for now. I wonder if William is in reference to Mr. William King, who was the maintenance chief in Colony B. I think it is. You've scanned a still-functioning terminal that is apparently hooked up to the tower's mainframe. I bet you that room is warm. The mainframe is unfortunately damaged, but the terminal you scanned can still help us. Good work. Well, you found all the components I need for now. When you're finished there, you can use the shuttle to return home. Okay. I think I am in fact done. Got all the pages. Yeah. Alright. Just make sure. Okay. Well, I'm enjoying this game so far. This is pretty cool. The comms really appears to be in worse shape than I expected, but good work. It looks like you found what we needed for today. Go ahead and use the shuttle to come back home. What's this? That's just a piece of... Use the shuttle. I'm going to have to visit these other 4 places, obviously. I like there's 3 headlights on this thing. But yeah, like I can move the shuttle around back and forth and side to side. I hope this is going to be like a Battletoads situation later. Because my reflexes are not very good, and the shuttle does not handle very well. Excellent, you've arrived. Please see me... Ooh, back in one piece. I got a trophy. Excellent, you've arrived. Please see me in the... Go away, trophy. In the core immediately so we can process your findings. Alright, sounds good. I need a name for you. I can't just call you AI core. Pentagon. Your name is Pentagon. Or Pentagon? Your name is Pentagon for now, until you give me your actual name. Okay, I've synced the data you scanned and collected out there. Thank you for bringing this to me. I have good news as well. I've got the Holocim chamber up and running. The constructs of the four colonists are already loaded. They're already working on helping you, but due to currently limited availability of power and processing cycles, the chamber's a little shaky. You can retire to your quarters. When I've got the Holocim stable enough for you to enter, I'll call for you. Okay? So go home, go to my room first. What's over here? Oh, the ship hangar. You can't access it. That's what we're supposed to be fixing, right? Am I resting? Rest for a while. Alright. Oh no, we can't see Joe's face. Joe? Joe, can you hear me? I'm sorry to wake you, but I need to show you something. I was able to make the final adjustments, and I got the hollow sim chamber nice and stable for you. I think it's best if you meet one of the others as soon as possible. So could you please go to the chamber in the South Hall? Okay. Oh, why is it dark? Just head south to the hollow sim chamber and we can begin. Thank you for coming. The chamber will only work at night when other systems are powered down. It's a limitation of our current situation, I'm afraid. Oh, I see. This also means that I'll be in low-powered mode too. So you'll be on your own in there. I won't be able to see or hear what happens. So the time you get in the chamber will be strictly between you and whoever you're seeing that day. In the morning, the holograms will sync their data and ideas with me. Tonight you'll be meeting Winnie Laurier for the first time. Since the comms relay was her domain, it makes sense that you visit with her. Okay. Remember, these holographic recreations, they're based on data backups. They're based on data backups I kept for each key member of the colony. They are, in effect, the very same people. However, after the Rift event broke off communication with the other parts of the facility, and I lost track of these people, I was no longer able to keep them up to date. These constructs won't remember anything past a certain point. They might be a little touchy about that, so please do be careful. Anyway, when you're ready, just enter the chamber and use the control station within. When you're finished, you can return to your quarters. I'll speak to you again in the morning. Good luck in there. Good night. Good night, Joe. I hope these visits will help us with our goal. So, are these things self-aware? Is that why I can't tell them that, they're dead? Do they think they're the real people? All right, begin HoloSim program. Hal. Oh, hi there. Don't mind me. I just need to finish these calculations. I'll be done in a moment. The AI told me about your trip today. Did you find those items you needed? Yes. That's good. I'm sure the AI will be able to help you get what you need in the end. Anyway, I think I'm done here for now. I guess let's just have a seat on the sofa. I could use a break. The AI, how come? Okay, the AI has this all working quite a bit. We can simulate pretty much whatever we need in here to figure out how to best help you. Oh no, they know they're holograms. Okay. Whatever you scan out there, the AI can give to each of us in here so we can keep working. It's a pretty smart setup, really. I just make my work environment this room. It's how I remember my old apartment back on Earth. Is that weird? Not at all. Thank you for saying so. It's not the most practical choice, but having all my old books here and this old sofa, it feels like home. Anyway, the AI must certainly be keeping you busy as well, so I'm glad you're here. Since you are, well, what would you like to talk about? Ship's comms, please. Well, as I'm sure the AI explained, my job is to help you get the escape ship's communication system prepared so you don't blast off into space with no voice. Even if everything else is functioning, you wouldn't want to be out there with no way to contact anyone. I think I'd rather be adrift than not have a working radio. But I think the AI's plan is sound. If you can contact someone from a shipping lane, you can hopefully arrange a pickup. Kind of like thumbing a ride back on Earth, I guess. I never did that. Now that I think of it, I definitely was too, afraid to try it. She means hitchhiking. Thumbing. Anyway, sorry, I'm talking too much. Odd, I don't think I ever talked this much before, when I was, alive. I wonder why that is. Okay, they definitely know they're holograms. That's good. Do you want to talk about anything else? The colony. We had as much chance as anyone at making this work. In the end, I don't think I could quite believe it was going to fail. We all arrived here, when? 2048? What year is it now? 2064. Wow, so 16 years, so much has happened, and there was so much needless loss. By the time we all arrived here in 2048, the remote colony building systems had all the basics ready. Most people were pretty excited to get started. But I had a harder time adjusting. Space travel will do that to some people. At least that's what the head psychologist, Ms. Bouchard, told me. Something about how close everybody was, you know? It was easy to feel trapped. We trained for all that, of course, but the real thing is different. Do you want to talk about anything else? You pick. Oh, well, as you can probably tell, I'm not great at small talk, but okay, let's see. How about books? Do you read much? Voraciously. Oh, well, me too. I mean, obviously you might have noticed that, I guess, since apparently you found a bunch of my books. The AI told me about that. I really like adventure stories, big, complicated ones, as opposed to help deal with the relative closeness of living in the colony. I could imagine I was anywhere, and the Hudson Cartier manual said that escape was important to thriving in a remote colony. I suppose that's partly why we were equipped with this holosim chamber. It wasn't standard issue, so the higher-ups must have felt it was important. There were programs that we all brought with us. I don't know much about what the other people did in there. Maybe some took exotic vacations. William, Maintenance Chief King. I think he had some version of his wife in there. She didn't come with him. She stayed on Earth. Oh, that's sad. He never said anything about it, but I could tell it got to him. I mean, it did to all of us, but most of us were, well, alone. Normally, Hudson Cartier wouldn't allow colonists to be separated from their loved ones. They came as a package or they didn't go at all. Kept stressed down, they said. But William, well, he was a bit older and the best candidate for the job. I suppose HC knew how important he was to the mission. Damn, I wonder what his wife is doing, if she's still alive back on Earth. I wonder if she knows, what happened to us. Anyway, so you were in the comms relay today, huh? What was it like out there? What? Oh, you found a notebook, didn't you, with a story in it? Oh no, that's embarrassing. Yeah, that notebook was mine. I was writing stories to pass the time and to deal with things. I always wanted to write a book, but I never did. I guess I figured it was my only chance to try. I know it wasn't very good. I guess I was trying to put my thoughts and, well, my feelings into some kind of relatable way. But that was probably pretty obvious. It's funny though, now that I think of it. I don't know how that story ends. I can't remember everything I wrote. But what did you think of it? Wait, what did you think of what you read? I mean, if you read it. It was good. Really? Well, thanks. I appreciate you saying so. That means a lot. It was good, actually. Very interesting. What else did you think about the comms relay? It was empty. There are 5 towers in the relay. You must have been in Tower A. It never was completed. The relay was designed to be redundant, so not everything is in one place, and there are always backups of critical systems. I was the one who designed it, or consulted on the key components, back on Earth. But not everything was built to spec. It never is. I remember there was some issues with some of the drones. We lost some capability, so we had to think on our feet. That's why Tower A is only half finished. It seems like almost nothing went the way it was supposed to. It's so awful to think about all those people. I know. You have it worse, though. To be the last, I can't even bear to think about it. What else did you think about the comms relay? It was damp. The acidic rain must really be wearing it down. Then, that was one factor that we couldn't properly account for. Hudson Cartier knew of the weather systems on the planet, of course, and had a decade's worth of survey data with which to plan for this project. But I guess a decade only tells you so much. The systems changed, and the acidic rain became much worse and much more frequent. I'd be surprised if any of the structures there didn't suffer damage. In Colony B, we had it the worst. Things rerouted so fast. The comms relay seemed relatively intact, but even so, it was tough to keep the equipment working. I can still feel the chill of that place somehow. Maybe it's a good thing to have that scarf. Maybe it's a good thing Maybe it's a good thing you have that scarf. It's warm. It's stylish. Do you want it? Thanks, but I don't really feel the cold anymore. Not in a real sense. That's nice of you to offer, though. So, it kind of sounds selfish, but as I work in here, I keep thinking about the fact that I'm here and yet, well, I'm not. I can see you, obviously, and it all seems real, but I'm not here, am I? I'm not really around anymore. So obviously something happened to me. I mean, the real me. But I can only remember so far back. I guess the AI's version of me only accounts for so much. It's like a backup, I suppose, the me you see. This is the most recent version, but does it count? Does any of this matter if I'm not even real? You are to me. Okay, thanks. It means a lot that you think so, and that you came here to talk to me. I mean, not just for work. Look, I don't want to keep you here, considering all you have to worry about. You need to rest, and you still have so much to do. But do you mind to see me? To see if you can find out what happened to me? Maybe find some kind of record of what I went through? I promise. Thank you. Maybe we can talk about it some more the next time I see you. Take care for now. Maybe I shouldn't have promised. I just I tried. It's okay. Okay, so let's go rest. And then I will wake up. I know that sound is just like the hissing of the various like the air vents, but it sounds horrible. think I still have memories of last night. I guess that's what the red stuff is on the structure, is acidic rain. Acidic rain buildup or damage. Day 2. Here we go, day 2. 6 a.m. again. Good morning, Joe. I received notice that the Holocene chamber had been successfully accessed. How did it go? Really well. That's wonderful to hear. I hope Miss Laurier was able to give you some helpful information on repairing the escape ship. I received information from Miss Laurier's construct this morning after I returned to a full waking state. Whatever happened in there, it appears to have helped her problem solve a bit more effectively in regards to the escape ship. Yes. I'm already crunching numbers on her ideas. I think this plan of ours is going to really help us out. In any event, you can return to the core when you're ready. I've got some new mission options for you today. Here we go. What is this? It's just a light, is it? How come I have to keep coming back to the ag core when you can talk to me wherever I am? Now that you've seen to the comms relay and we have the Holocene chamber working, I think it's time to branch out a bit. You have a few choices. First, we can try to recover plant material at the agrodomes. We need to start equipping the escape ship with material for the food processors. Leslie Baradwaj ran the agrodome, so if you head there today, you can meet her tonight in the Holocene chamber. Next is what the colonists call the Caves, our energy mining and processing center. The mine is available to visit, and we could use more resources for fuel. Resource manager Jean Lumumba was responsible for energy production. So if you head there, you'll see him tonight in the Holocene chamber. Next is, well, Colony B. Due to recent shifts, it's finally accessible again, although I'm reluctant to send you there. It's likely in a terrible state, but it might still have parts we can salvage for the escape ship's thrusters. Unfortunately, we have no choice but to check. If you do visit there, you'll get to meet Director Pierre Tong tonight in the Holocene chamber. He might not like what we discovered there. Discovering more about each colonist is key to our survival. The more you can connect with their constructs, the more help they'll be to us. When you're ready, you can head south of the shuttle bay to plot a course to one of the areas. Alright. Where should I go? Should I go to Colony B, the agrodomes, or the mines, the caves? Agrodomes. Oh, this place, whatever it is still inaccessible. This is the caves, and this is the colony. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Who wants to give me... maybe we'll do the agrodomes? I need food, right? Food is good. Alright, agrodomes it is. This thing does not handle very well at all, so I really hope that there isn't going to be any kind of battle-to-boat situation later. This is the main grow dome in the facility, where the colonists use advanced hydroponics to grow base foods for processing. You can't see it from the ground, but the top of the building is like a giant round basin, and was designed to catch the rainfall and collect it. The top layer of the building processes the rain to remove its acidic elements and treat it to be potable and suitable for plants. Once you're inside, you should be able to see the various grow rooms, but my readings seem off. Something's not entirely right. Uh-oh. That's not good. That's not right. The decontamination chamber you're in should be scanning you and clearing the air of toxins before you enter, to protect the operation inside. It doesn't appear to be working correctly. Be careful in there. Alright. Based on what I'm reading, the facility seems to be in quite a state. Remember, we're here to find salvageable plant samples that we can use to keep the food processors running here until we escape. But first, you should find something that would indicate the crew what the crew were dealing with. Try looking for research notes on tables or desks. Will do, boss. Those research notes, handwritten by multiple people. Things must have been chaotic. Based on these, I can confirm 2 of the crew members. Leslie Baradwaj, of course. Baradwaj, of course. As the facility manager, she was always on duty, and she would have been here to the very end. Ashley Hainsworth, the chief genetics researcher, she and Mrs. Baradwaj had very different points of view, if their personal logs were any indication. Meaning? meaning that they had arguments about agrodome procedure and protocol in general, many times. Miss Bharadwaj was an excellent leader, though a bit of a reluctant one. She preferred consultation with her subordinates and open discussion. Miss Hainsworth, on the other hand, felt that leadership required a stronger hand, and as the situation got worse, the differences became more pronounced. Oh, that's not good. Look at the rubble pile. The dome is in pretty bad shape. It looks like walls have collapsed and there's a lot of damage all around. There were other labs around the other side of that corridor, but you won't be able to access them. We'll just have to focus our efforts here. Okay. I know there's a door there, but just look around real quick. Oh, there's another door there. Okay, good. A lot of plant life. Alright. Can we go... Oh, there's another door back there that I think we can't access, probably because of the thing. Oh, yeah. To the flower chamber, inaccessible. To leafy greens chamber. Oh no, everything is dead. Flower patch. There are flowers growing at the base of the vines. They appear to either be resistant to the toxins that have invaded the dome or result of them. Likely they took root within the filtration and drainage systems below and crawled their way up through that grate. Oh, here's... yeah. It's a note from Florent Marchand, the horticultural technician. It reads, "The ceiling tracks were damaged by the sudden growth of vines. Due to damage, auto sprinklers haven't been able to remove correctly. This room is probably beyond repair." Okay. Anything back here? Nope. Okay. I mean, I hope this isn't blood. I'm pretty sure it isn't. I think I'm just, you know, I'm still just freaked out from yesterday. I'm sure this is not at all a horror game. It just feels that way sometimes because you're the roots and tubers chamber. It looks like a seismic event collapsed one of the walls here. You may be able to squeeze through. Though. Oh no! There's a dead body of Arlo Yeager. Oh, I'm sorry, Joe. You appear to have found the corpse of Arlo Yeager, the production supervisor. His body is trapped beneath the rubble from that wall. It looks like he attempted to keep himself alive with the produce in that room, but either the tainted crops got the better of him, or help simply never came. Man. That's not good. Alright, you said I could squeeze through something? This way? This way, maybe? Pass through the rubble, yes. Aha! Here's a note. It's a note from horticultural technician Florent Marchand. Special ventilation for this room is permanently shut down. Nothing we can do about it. There's an addition. If you two could have stopped bickering, maybe you'd have done your job, and these crops wouldn't have failed. Ooh. He's talking to, what was it? Bharadwaj and, Hainsworth. I did talk to a dead person, but it wasn't a ghost. It was a hologram. That's different. Was there really nothing else in here? It seems like I should be able to scan those plants, but I can't. Not yet, anyway. Pass through the rubble. Okay. Is there a note in here, or just that guy's body? Just that guy's body, right? There's no other note. Go this way. Oh wait. Oh, legumes chamber too. Oh, these are doors too. Sorry, my bad. It's a note from horticultural technician Florent Marchand. Please note, solution tubes are leaking due to faulty seals. New ones are being printed and will be installed. I know it sucks, but I'm back up with repair requests. Marchand was not a happy man. Or woman, person. Actually, not sure if Florent, what kind of name Florent is.
this room is going to be inaccessible. Yep, leafy green chamber 1 inaccessible. There's a big plant in the way. This is outside. And here is another one. Good. Do agroponics dome administration. I think personality reconstructed holograms are a great sci-fi equivalent of ghosts. Yeah, it's true. Go into the bookshelf. Communal bookshelf. There are an assortment of reference texts as well as leisure reading on the shelf. There's also a collection of holotapes. Oh my, they look to be bootleg movies. There are drama, action, and even romance films, all entirely illegal copies that someone must have covertly brought with them or scanned via the interspace net. If the situation wasn't so dire, I would be inclined to note this in my next report to Hudson Cartier Mission Control. But given the circumstances, it hardly seems a priority. Don't be a narc, Pentagon. That wall-mounted cot is similar to your own bed. It was meant for short-term rest for the colonists who work here. Sometimes longer than normal hours were required, and the break room was used as temporary sleeping quarters often. A lot of notes here. Good work, you found something that can help us. According to these notes, a toxin of some kind compromised the whole facility, impacting food growth. There's a detailed analysis of the toxin here. I might be able to use these formulae to reconfigure your scanner. Yes, this will work. You should be able to scan whatever plant life you come across now, and determine if it's suitable for processing. Yay! We need to find specimens that are at least 60% viable for processing. Okay. How about this one? Oh, I need a password. It's a note from horticultural technician Florent Marchand. Use of the processing machine without my say-so is expressly forbidden. As you keep going around my back, I password locked it. If you want in, pay attention to my warnings next time. Good find. That data pack still has some power left and doesn't seem to be password protected. Let me see if there's anything of use. It seems to contain a private chat thread between Ashley, the chief genetic supervisor, and Arlo, the production supervisor. I'll read it to you. So, now you see what I mean? Yeah, it's like she's afraid to make a decision. Exactly. She seems to freeze when things like this happen. I agree that this situation with the toxin needs to be dealt with more quickly. Don't be so diplomatic. You're sounding like her. I think we have a huge problem here. She needs to make a decision. The chat log ends here. It seems like some of Leslie's subordinates didn't agree with her leadership style. I mean, yeah. Listening to people is all well and good when there isn't an emergency. When there's an emergency, you just gotta act. Alright, so now we gotta go back to all the different rooms and scan things. Especially if you got holo recreations of events, like the Division was supposed to have. It'd be like seeing ghosts. Yeah. There you go, yes. Rampion hybrid. You scanned Rampion, an ancient earth vegetable. Geneticists recently revived the strain for its hardiness and nutrition, not its heartlessness. Excellent work. This leafy green is still 75% viable for processing. Good. Great. Any more in this room? This guy's gotta be one. Yeah. This is promising. That spinach is generally quite rich in nutrients. Lab modifications have made it exceptionally so. It's been compromised somewhat by the environment, but we can still use some of it. It's 61% viable for processing. Good. Okinawan spinach, to be specific. I'm not sure, like, I feel a bit weird. Like, I watched, you know, I'm a big Star Trek guy, right? And Star Trek has the holodecks starting from next gen. And I've always been a bit weirded out by using real people in holograms. Because, like, that seems like an invasion of privacy. You scan some modified potatoes. Their rich color comes from the extra vitamins and minerals they carry. It looks like these potatoes were heavily affected by the toxin. They're only 35% viable for processing. Oh, so they won't work. We can't. No potatoes for us. Only spinach and what is it, Rampion? What's this guy? Lentils. That lentil plant still looks fairly vibrant. The surface details suggest it's mostly intact. Yes, the scan confirms it. Excellent find. The plant is 89% viable for processing. Huzzah! What about this vine here? Those green bean vines were once fast growing and efficient, but they appear withered and dry now. Unfortunately, the scan confirms this. They're not even 7% viable for processing. Oh no! No green beans for us. Oh wait, there was I could pass through that thing, right? I forgot. I forgot that I could pass through that thing. Like Tupac and MJ in South Park. Yeah, the Tupac hologram is weird. I forgot I could pass through here. There's gotta be more stuff we can scan, right? Flowering plant. An unknown species of flowers has sprung up in this hydroponic system. It appears to have mutated from another strain. I'm checking the flowers again to see if these are even viable as a food source. It appears not. They're too alien for our systems. These flowers are barely 5% viable for processing. Alright? So we won't do that plant. What about this thing? No? Okay. Nothing here? Alright. What was this note again? Oh yeah. If you two could have... Yeah, stop it. Alright. Alright, let's go back through the rubble. I'm sure corporate contracts at that time would have the corporation own your image and personality logs. Yeah, I'm sure. Which is a really horrible thing to think about. That's outside. What was the other door? Is that it? Am I done? Oh no, there's this guy, right? Oh wait. Well, this is a surprise. This plant is entirely unknown and not of the varieties commonly grown in the domes. Somehow it has thrived within the toxic environment. Your scan shows it's 90% viable for processing. Good. Did I do this already? I think I did this one already, right? Yes, I did. Okay. Is that it? Am I done? I still haven't found the password. Sort of like Facebook now. The machine has timed out and requires a passcode to unlock it. Do you want to enter a passcode? I don't know the password yet. Pay attention to my warnings. It's got to be on the note, right? One of the notes? Let's do it. Oh. Actually, exit. I don't know the password. I actually have to. I thought it might give me like a couple of choices. So he did, or they left a lot of notes around, right? Is there something in the notes that would give me a hint to what the like they specifically said? Ceiling tracks were damaged by the sudden growth of vines. Due to damage, auto sprinklers haven't been able to move correctly. This okay. This is in capital letters. Okay, so I'll pay attention to this. Let's see what did the other notes say. Notes in here, right? No, it's either. This is almost like a point-and-click adventure. This job. Is it this job sucks? The last one was sucks, right? I think it's this job sucks. I'm pretty sure it's this job sucks. Yep, this job sucks. Yes, that was a body in the rubble. It was Arlo. I scanned him earlier. The thing collapsed on him. And then he tried to eat something, but then it poisoned him before his health could get to him. So he died. Alright, so the password is, this job sucks. I assume there's spaces. Yeah! Is that hacking? I think that's hacking. It's a processing machine. Colonists would take crops and turn them into raw materials for food processors and life support systems. However, it looks like it's been reconfigured. Judging by the data, Ms. Bardwaj and her crew were trying to create an herbicide to fight off the invasive vines. It looks like they partly succeeded, but they may have had to bend the dome before their work was finished. Why? Likely another seismic event forced them out. Someone began an automated procedure here, but didn't collect the results. By activating the machine again, you've confirmed the procedure. According to this, a successful herbicide was made. The machine should dispense it to the slot beside you. Good. That means they get rid of those big vines, blocking the way to doors. That herbicide can be applied directly to vines. Are there any areas where vines are getting in your way? Yes. Yes, there are. Like here. No, not here. Here. Let's see what happens when you apply the herbicide to those vines. The vines seem to have recessed. You can access that area now. How about this one? No, not this one, huh? Alright. That printed photograph is faded and damaged, but I can still make out its general image. It appears to be of a breed of canine known as a corgi. The dog is at an earth farm of some kind. Corgis are often used for small-scale herding of animals, such as bovines. Really? Corgis? Their diminutive stature allows them to avoid being kicked. Maybe Mrs. Bardwaj knows something about this dog. You can ask her about it when you see her in the Holliston chamber. You say so, buddy. These were flowers that Miss Bardwaj was growing. She seemed to be using substantial resources purely for aesthetic purposes. A certain percentage of dome production time and materials were dedicated to this for psychological and community purposes. I don't believe this effort, however, was within the allotted amounts. Ms. Bardwaj seems to have taken quite an interest in flowers. What isn't clear, however, is whether these were grown during normal production or after the toxins set in. Either way, this broken bulb has been too greatly affected. We cannot use them for our purposes. That broken bulb contained chicory, which was often used as a coffee substitute. The flowers look fairly healthy. Unfortunately, prolonged exposure to the air and polluted water there means the plant is only 23% viable. No, I wanted coffee! Oh, give me the coffee. So this room was basically a bus, except for the picture of a corgi, and discovering that they're used to herd cows, which I did not know was a thing. Can't get rid of this either. Alright, main hub. Main hub it is. Royal House staff. True story. Oh yes, examine water tube. This tube feeds water collected on the special roof to the hydroponic systems here in the dome. It looks terribly corrupted though. The water seems heavily saturated with a toxic material that shouldn't be in the system. Let's see what happens when you apply the herbicide to those vines. They're gonna go away. Yep. Oh, and another dead body. Oh no. I regret to inform you that you've discovered the body of Florent Marchand, horticultural technician. His remains are quite old, and your scan reveals little in how he died. There appears to be severe trauma to his skull. That could be from a heavy blow or a sudden impact if he fell. Well, there is a ladder right next to it, so he probably fell. There is a ladder there. Oh, thank you. There's a ladder there suggesting he was using it to repair something, but I can't be sure. I mean, that's probably what happened. There's no need to speculate about foul play. That's specially modified garden cress. This variety is far more nutritious than its natural version. It looks like only that plant survived, but we're in luck. It's 78% viable for processing. Well, you seem to have scanned everything you're going to find in there. There isn't much more you can do. It's unfortunate the facility is in such poor shape. At least we were able to salvage something for your food supply. This doesn't solve our long-term goal of stocking the escape ship, but at least it stabilizes things while we keep working. When you're ready, head back to the shuttle and plot a course back home. That'll be it for today. Okay? I want to check if my little herbicide can be used for anything else. Because there's the other room with the rubble. Had a big plant. Yeah, this one. Probably not. I don't think you can. Yeah. Yeah, you can't. Okay. All right. It's very specific. All right. Let's go home then. This game's actually pretty good. I'm enjoying myself a lot. There's like this mystery going on. You know, we kind of know what happened to everybody. The poison plants that have invaded the dome are strange indeed. We were fortunate to find even as few samples as we did for our use. It looks like Miss Bardawaj and her staff were scrambling to figure out how to combat the toxin and revive the food system. After the Rift event, so many things fell apart. We're discovering more and more evidence of that. I suppose there's nothing more to be done there. You should get back home and out of that rain. Yes. I can't. Okay, so I have to go back. I'm fairly certain this is used just to stall for time. This is my loading screen basically. So what is the Rift then? I'm glad to see you made it back unharmed. Please come to the core right away so we can process your findings. Of course. The way the AI says that they're glad you came back unharmed makes me think that I'm going to get harmed at some point. Which I wouldn't like, because it's been a pretty gentle game so far. Very atmospheric, very narrative. Okay, all the data you collected today is synced and ready to be worked on. You did well out there. Since you went to the agrodomes, you'll be able to visit Miss Bardawaj in the Holocene chamber tonight. You can retire to your quarters when you're ready. I'll call for you when the Holocene chamber is available. Okay. Thanks, Pentagon. Wake me up in the middle of the night again. It's time, Joe. The Holocene chamber is ready for you now. Just head in when you're ready. Have a good evening. Okay, Miss Bardawaj. Oh, hello there. It's nice to finally get to meet you. I'm aware of your trip today, at least partly. How did the mission go? No problem. I'm glad to hear it. You seem very capable, certainly so, if you survived this long. I've just been here tending my garden. It's odd that now that I'm, well, this, I guess, that I finally get to do what I love. Back in the agrodomes, we were under a lot of pressure. Managing the staff and the operation was so important, but if I'm being honest, it was always the plants that I loved, the process of it, the puzzle of it all, you know? More. Well, you know, the others were obsessed with radios or drones or ships. With me, it's always been about plants. Excuse me. When I was little, my family had a small farm, one of the few that were left. By then, agriculture was almost entirely automated. It was illegal to sell the crops we produced, too much regulation, too many companies controlling our food. You probably remember that. So we were only able to feed ourselves, which was also technically illegal. Everything we grew was natural, or as close as we could get. But after my parents died, I couldn't afford to keep the farm. I fend off the legal challenges from the companies who claimed we were stealing patented seeds. Oh no. This is too real. And somehow I found my way here. Hudson Cartier gave me my labs, gave me farmland, and let me set up greenhouses. All the rations we had here, those were all designed in my lab, tested in my fields. I like her hair. All I ever wanted was to work with plants. You know what I mean? I get you. Really, that's comforting, in a way. When you're the director of an operation like that, it's hard to find people who share your passions. When I signed up to come out here, I was thrilled with the idea of cultivating and nurturing an entire ecosystem. I mean, Hudson Cartier had a plan, of course. There are stages of terraforming, the ultimate one being really the creation of life. Just imagine it, this whole world green, lush, vibrant, just like Earth used to be. The promise of that kept me going every day. All I ever wanted was to work with plants. Do you know what I mean? How so? Well, it's like anything else. It's rewarding to be challenged, to break new ground. Plants are like that for me. Maybe it's different for you, but the thrill of seeing life grow between your hands and under your feet, it's magical for me. Especially since this facility is so cold, otherwise. All these prefab halls, building block pieces, everything in its place. Plants, flowers, trees, you can only impose so much order on them, you know? They soften the edges, reduce the monotony. But now all I have is this little garden, and it isn't even real. And I guess, nor am I. Oh, Joe, what are we going to do? It's okay. Most of the time, I forget that I'm just a stupid hologram, a simulation. But sometimes I remember, and I can't think about anything else. Listen, let's change the subject. Otherwise, I won't be able to calm down. You must have some questions, something you want to talk about. Oh, that's Charlie, my old dog. Wherever did you find this? Boy, do I miss that old corgi. Poor Charlie. I don't know how long it's been. Before I committed to Hudson Cartier, and eventually to this, I had to give him up. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. The Monsanto India thing. Poor Charlie. I don't know how long it's been. Before I committed to Hudson Cartier, and eventually to this, I had to give him up. He was the best. I tried to make him a working dog, but to be honest, he was kind of lazy. I wasn't great at training him. Charlie would sort of pretend to listen to me, but he always had his own agenda. I was a sucker for it. He was just too charming, that scruffy little guy. He's probably, well, gone by now, but the farmer who took him was great to him. I know. Good old Charlie. I'm so glad you brought this to me. It's nice to think about the old farm. It helps me focus. I think I can work even harder on these fixes for your ship now. Yes! Is there anything else you'd like to talk about? Your staff. Yeah, okay, we can talk about them. Although I warn you, I'm better with plants than I am with people. I think one of the other reasons I love working with plants so much is that they're systems I can understand. People are different. The lab work, farming, it's all complicated and often hard to predict, but people are just more so. Being the chief at the domes reminded me of that. If I'm being honest, I would have preferred to be in the labs all day, not managing people. I'm not sure I was the best of it. Well, I know I wasn't, although I can't quite remember why. I guess the AI's version of me isn't as complete as it should be. I do remember, however, Ashley. She was the chief genetics researcher. We didn't always see eye to eye. You know, just before the Rift event, I recall us having quite a heated argument. She wanted to push ahead with a new strain of tuber, and I disagreed. Is there anything else you'd care to talk about? The domes, please. Sure, I can tell you more about the agrodomes. Before everything went askew, it was quite the place. I probably only saw the main agricultural dome. That was where all the production took place. It was really something else. Prior to coming here, we had researched for a decade the kinds of plants we should cultivate. We went through so many trials for sustainability, nutrition, efficiency. We couldn't bring meat or animals. They were just too costly and difficult to manage. But the food processors could take plant parts and create so much with them. That technology was headed up by a team that Pierre appointed. My job was to find the right plants, the ones that could be used for hundreds of different things. We actually lost more seeds than we expected during space travel here, so in a way, we started behind schedule. Finally, I was able to farm for real, not just to feed myself, but to supply an entire system. I think my parents would have loved it. I can't thank you enough for coming to visit. It does get lonely in here, even if it is beautiful. I hope you'll come back sometime. You bet. That would be great. It helps to talk about these things, go over old details. It'll keep me sharp so I can help you with your ship. I'm going to go back to my garden now, I suppose. Good luck, Joe. I hope to see you again soon. I hope I get a chance to visit them all again. They all seem like very nice people. Alright, let's go back to sleep and have Pentagon tell us about how he's downloaded our conversation tomorrow morning. Go to bed for the night. Day 3. I think we're going to go to the caves today. Good morning once again. The holograms seem very motivated. Did you have an enjoyable time last night? You bet. Excellent. Our decision to augment our efforts with the holograms is proving to be the right one. This is great news. As long as they feel inspired to aid you, I believe they will excel in their work. Please keep this in mind. There are 2 more areas you can explore to further our goal. Come see me in the core again and you can begin your day. What I gotta see you in the core is that you won't unlock this shuttle unless I see you. There are still 2 more areas I'd like you to check out while we can. Please go south to the shuttle bay to choose your mission for today. Remember, when you choose an area, you can see which hologram is associated with that area, if that's important to you. That might become important later, I guess. Maybe I'll have to do repeat visits. Because the Pentagon said I had 3 weeks. But I'm going to be able to visit all these places in 5 days, whatever that last one is. So we're going to go to the caves today. Well, it says mission complete. Maybe later. But yeah, I'm going to see Jean at the caves. This is supposed to give me fuel. I mean, depending on what happens, I might actually finish this game tonight. I'll definitely play it until 11. I'm not going to go to another game. Though the planet's landscape is hostile, its core is rich with minerals and a special kind of crystal that we can process into fuel. Hudson Cartier did decades of research to understand this crystal and how to exploit it for the energy needs of the colony. I'm not sure why your colleagues chose to call this facility the Caves, but it contains the administration offices and leads to the mining operation. After the Rift event, the caves have been offline. I need you to investigate and find if there's anything left to process. Will do, buddy, will do. The administration building is where Mr. Lumumba and his staff work. So far, it seems surprisingly intact. Before we do anything else, let's check out Mr. Lumumba's office. It should be the door to your right. Will do. Yeah. I mean, I agree. Let's check out, yeah, it's really weird to have me keep going back to the I core. Let's check out Mr. Lumumba's terminal. Maybe there will be some answers there. Display doesn't appear to be on. Maybe there's a way to power it back up. Row upon row of technical books regarding mining. The shelf is covered in mold and dirt from their damaged ceiling. Oops. We need access to this terminal, but it appears to need facial recognition to unlock it. The system isn't completely accurate. Maybe there's a way to get around it. I need to find a picture of Mr. Lumumba. This is the command center for the mining facility. All the actual mining was done by drones. It's much safer that way. Operations staff manage the drones in the mine from here. They track blasting, sorting, delivery, everything. There isn't much trace of the staff here, though that's odd. I don't have records of the evacuation. It seems to be stuck in some kind of error loop. A warning keeps flashing on the screen. Ventilation failure. Oh no, did everyone asphyxiate to death? That lounge area appears surprisingly opulent, even amongst all the dust and debris. Those synthetic leather chairs are not cheap. Modern-day mining operations seem much more comfortable compared to the mines of 100 years ago. Take photo of Jean Lumumba. Yes, that's a low-power photo frame device on the counter. It's currently flashing a photo of Manager Lumumba, who's smiling. The frame gives it a convincing 3D effect. Oh, that's a new animation. That terminal shows an account of all the drones that were deployed to the mine. Their statuses all read offline. And now we've got a photo of Mr. Jean Lumumba. There's a door way over there. Here we go. Yeah. Resource Manager Lumumba's terminal contains all the usual reports and statistics on the mine's operation. There is, however, a voice conversation between Mr. Lumumba and Director Pierre Tom. I'll give you the details. Don't you see what's happening out there? I see just fine. I'm handling it. Damn it, Pierre. Just admit we're screwed. The Rift event has doomed us all. It's not like that. AF4B3B has every distress signal we've got firing back home. We're going to be fine. Fine? Colony B is a smoking ruin. Everyone's blaming you know. Our genius leader, completely out of his depth. We're going to be fine. We're prepared for this. I'm prepared for this. Those idiots are just freaking out.
Because you're not leading them. Because, oh damn it. Oh damn it. John, what is it? I have to go. Someone is trapped down in the mines. I have to go. John, you can't go down there. Don't be an idiot. The audio file cuts off there. That's all I can extract from the terminal. Oh no. Hey, this turned on. That monitor shows a real-time overview of what's going on in the mines. The blue indicator is where you are right now. Okay. Those red areas, though, those indicate humans who shouldn't be in mines during operation. They could indicate survivors I couldn't account for. You need to get down there and verify if anyone is still alive. Will do. I doubt it, though. I doubt anyone's alive. What a sight. That room has been completely demolished. You can head down to the mines or take a look at the equipment up there. Yeah, I'm going to take a look at this equipment. This is the sorting chamber. You can still see some of the special drones attached to the pillars up there. They maneuver around to sort the various crystals within the mining aggregate and package them up in safety containers. Oh, is that it? Okay. Alright, I guess we're going. Descend to the crushing chamber. Uh-oh. I'm reading very dirty air down there. It looks like part of the mine suffered a cave-in. It must be very stifling in there. Excuse me. There are chips and circuits from one of the excavation drones on the mine floor. They've been stripped of all their wiring. There's a drone right there. The mining drone has been crushed by falling debris. It will never mine again. Oh, so sad. You seem to have scanned a portable data log. It must have got accidentally picked up with the mining aggregate. This apparently belongs to John Lumumba. It appears somewhat damaged, but I'm able to pull a fragment from the original audio. Here it is, as best as I can access it. This is wheezing sound. John Lumumba, resource manager. I tried to help out. They got stuck down there, the two of them. Viktorov and Fisher. As much as I hate to admit it, maybe Pierre was right. This place might be where I die. That's where this log ends. It seems to be the first part of a series of recordings. Okay. We're gonna find stuff. Descend to the aggregate chamber. That's where the excavation drones brought the blasted aggregate and loaded it in automated carts. The air's even fouler down here. That drone looked like it failed when exposed to more dirt than it was designed for. It was definitely what it was. That's a collection of motor function parts from an excavation drone, or at least the basics. Many small parts have been removed. Someone built something. I'm so tiny. I'm so tiny back there. Looks like some safety caps were left down there when people left. Oh. Refuge station? What's this way? Blasting chamber. Okay, we'll go refuge station first. Oh no. Those remains of excavation supervisor Carlotta Viktorov are surprisingly well preserved. She must have sealed herself in that refuge chamber. She's holding onto some crude notes, apparently scrawled on the backs of pages to an emergency manual. The notes read like some kind of last statement. Escape ship needed energy. Came to get my secret stash of processed stuff. Cave-ins forced me in here. Without ventilation, air is finite. Fisher tried to rat me out. Took care of it. Don't want to die in this tomb, but at least this whole nightmare will be over. That's all. Supervisor Viktorov managed to write it right, it seems. Without a clear air supply, I'm afraid she wouldn't have lasted long down there. What a horrible way to die. But she talks about, take pocket knife. Yes, please. The scratched up antique looks to be a heavily modified consumer-grade pocket knife. It could probably be used to pry something open. You know, I believe it belonged to Mr. Lumumba. Perhaps you should mention it to him in the holosim chamber this evening. Okay, I will. But also, can I open anything in here? She talked about her stash of something or other. Nope, nothing here, I guess.
Ascend to the blasting chamber. You're in one of the digging chambers, or at least one that didn't completely collapse. Your signal is weak. Please be careful. It appears someone removed many of that drone's components. Judging by its condition, it was mercifully inoperable by that point. Oh, here's another data pad. It looks like you found a data log. It appears to be the second in a series. I pulled what audio I can from it. I'll read it for you. I'm here, in the mining caves. I have been for some time. Cave-ins have made return impossible. Viktorov, easy, her eyes, so afraid, so manic. That fear reminded me, to keep going. I'm not giving up. You fool, Pierre. Maybe your pig-headedness is exactly what I need right now. That was the violent talking. Thank you. I should get an Oscar, I know. That's all I can recover from this log. Oh, there's a dead guy there. This is geochemist Maya Fisher. It looks like her suit was compromised. It's got several deep slashes throughout. She was likely exposed to the toxic air too long. The scan revealed an item in her pocket. A replicated ring in a small box. It looks like a simple wedding band. It's of no use to us, but I find it curious. Well, team's excavation supervisor Viktorov and geochemist Fisher both met their ends down there. Their only place to die. Mr. Lumumba's audio file suggested he went down there as well, but apparently he isn't there. See if you can find out what happened to him. Sure. This drone has been heavily excavated for parts and pieces. It looks so helpless there, down in that awful place. I mean, I think my dude is he's using all this stuff to, escape. Is there nowhere else to go? I guess that's it, huh? He obviously used all the drone parts. He was the one excavating all the drones. I guess we're done here. I mean, but we're not done, obviously, because there's still stuff to do. Nothing in here. Isn't there a second offshoot somewhere? There was supposed to be a second offshoot? Yeah, this is just the body. Oh, here we go. Good work. Using that knife to pry open the door is a smart solution. You can enter now. I hadn't even seen that before. Yeah, the sympathy penta drones for the shows for the drones is quite cute. That equipment contains a fragment of a data log. By the file number, it looks to be the third in a series. I'll read it. Quakes have stopped, and this coffin, cough cough, has held steady. No, not a coffin. I'm getting out of here. Pierre, you idiot. If you find this, if I don't make it out, cough cough, I want you to know I'm not giving up. Cough 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 cough. Energy fuel, that's my specialty. Cough cough. Or sorry, energy fuel, that's my specialty. Cough cough. And I've got an idea to help get somebody off this rock at least. The rest of the log is just background noise, and then it ends. That seems to be the last part of this particular recording. Well, those data files suggest that Mr. Lumumba had attempted to escape. I think he probably did. Fortunately, you've discovered as much as you're going to down there. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like there is any fuel left for us to process. And now we're left with the mystery of what happened to Mr. Lumumba. But I don't want you to hang around in those mines any longer. Well, hold on. These are parts from one of the colony's drones, specifically energy core casings. The cores themselves are missing. Because he used it to escape. There's an empty emergency kit. It's been completely depleted of both rations and medical supplies. Yeah, my dude escaped. Maybe he's in that fifth building. I guess the two human things that he was scanning was just the Penta was scanning was just the dead bodies. Sorry. Wait. Oh yeah. said we could go, right? Unless it is. Yeah, yeah. There's nothing entirely unwholesome about those caves. There was a moment when I felt my communication link was getting weak. I must admit, I was worried. I didn't want you to lose focus or panic while you were down there, so I didn't say anything. In any case, you did great. Come back to base and I'll process what you found today, and you can relax. Did I find everything? I did, I guess, right? I found the logs. That was a long day, wasn't it? Come see me right away so we can get your mission scan synced and sorted. That scarf is quite stylish, I gotta say. Not entirely sure you need it when you've got, you know, a full body suit that's supposed to protect you from everything. Okay, all the data you collected today is synced and ready to be worked on. You did well up there. Since you went to the caves, you'll be able to visit Mr. Lumumba in the Holocene chamber tonight. You can retire to your quarters when you're ready. I'll call for the Holocene chamber, etc., etc. I still can't go see the ship, right? It's time, Joe. The Holocene chamber is ready for you now. Just head in when you're ready. Have a good evening. I wonder why Joe puts on their full helmet, even though they're just... Maybe the air's not great inside the thing already. Inside this area. Colony A. But for reals, how long have you been here by yourself? Are you actually also dead? Not a real person? Alright, Mr. Lumumba. Well, look at you. The AI gave me a bit of info, but it's great to actually meet you. You made it back to the caves, I take it. How did it go? Not sure. You're not? Well, you're still alive, aren't you? That's always a good sign that you're doing something right. You know, I've been thinking, the AI has us all working to get that escape ship upgraded and get you both off this damn planet. And I just can't shake that feeling, like all this could have been avoided. That you're going through this for no good reason. Sometimes, even now, I get preoccupied thinking about old arguments or wondering what we could have done differently. Do you ever do that? Do you ever think about what might have been? Of course. It's so hard, isn't it? You just know you could have prevented something, when you could have done more. But it's not healthy thinking, Mr. Lumumba. Now, I know too well that the reason we're all in this situation, and I'm saying this as a hologram, for Pete's sake, is because of the Rift event. Despite all of Hudson Cartier's studies, decades of research, all of our info, this planet just went and threw a wrench in everything. So many dead, senselessly so. We had this whole operation running like clockwork. Well, most of the time. But what we were doing was amazing. Of course, HC-247A isn't the first successful terraforming project. We were supposed to be the largest, and the first with boots on the soil from the get-go. Before, we just have those orbital platforms slowly nuking the planet with greenhouse gases, and then other drones taking care of the rest. But it took decades more than this project was supposed to take, and as you know, Earth wasn't in a state to wait that long. I don't know. What do you think? Did we do this right? Did we do the right thing coming out here, setting up this new project, risking everything? We had to. You're right, of course. We were the best for the job. This colony was the best for the bunch. Even just to build the processing facilities we did in such short time was a real feat of engineering. That was another Pierre's designs, by the way. The director made sure we could process the crystals here from day one, and the drones built everything from the prefab parts we hauled from Earth. For those drones down there in the caves, they were really put to work. We needed them running 24/7 just to keep up. Maybe that's what we missed. Maybe we miscalculated the drones, but we just couldn't bring enough. But listen to me, I could turn this over and over in my head forever. We just met. So Joe, let's focus on the present. You must have info you need, or else you wouldn't have come here. What should we discuss? Let me show you your knife. Well, I'll be. That does jog the memory. I can tell you more about where that comes from. It was actually my brother who gave me that knife. Well, the first version of it. I think I've had it for over 20 years. When one of the tools broke, I'd find tutorials on how to fix or replace them. When I did so poorly and cut myself, I started taking it seriously. My brother said a tool like this was the best kind of friend. If you always kept it close, always looked after it, it would always be there for you. This sure does bring back some memories. Sometimes you think too much and miss the easy solutions. Seeing this again, maybe helping you with the ship isn't as complicated as I thought. It's about making things simpler, not more convoluted. I think I have some ideas. Thank you, Joe, for reading this to me. It's given me some inspiration. Yay! What else is on your mind tonight? Let's start with your job. Well, the AI probably told you I was a resource manager, but sure, I can explain it a bit better. I was the person responsible for mapping out how best to use the resources available to any given project, natural resources mostly. Some of the bean counters at Hudson Cartier thought I was like them, just a guy putting numbers in columns, making it all add up. But I never saw my job that way. I've always been an explorer. I like to find things. I like to mess around with them too. So figuring out how to mine the crystals on this planet, turn them into fuel so we could be self-sufficient, that was a challenge and a satisfying one. I had great staff, though, wonderful people to work with. Even though I wasn't fond of having a desk job, it made it worthwhile. Then the Rift event affected everything and put the whole project into chaos, and so many of those good people suffered. But you were down there, weren't you? What did you find? Data logs. Did you now? Well, those look to be for me, to Pierre. I don't sound very well. That doesn't give me confidence in what you'll find next time around. What else is on your mind tonight? Your life. My life? You mean before this planet? I guess I have a few adventures to tell. Why not? Before working with Hudson Cartier, I wasn't crazy about being in an office, you know? Even as a kid, I preferred being outside. There was a group of us when I was younger that used to host these challenges. They were like game shows just for us. I used to do that too. Each of us was active, outdoorsy, adventurous, but with various talents, someone would set that month's challenge and the rest would agree to meet it. Like the one time Haley decided we'd have a hang gliding competition. None of us had done that before. We had 3 weeks to prepare. That sounds super dangerous. So we all joined classes or found someone to teach us or taught each other, and then we met on these bluffs outside the city. The goal was to glide the farthest and land safely. Haley went first. That was the rule. Whoever issued the challenge had to go first. Then we all went in turn. I'll be honest, I didn't prep as much as I should have. Things were different then. Too much time and too little responsibility. I was out having fun. So when I went, I made a big show of it. Like I was going to convince everyone I was the most ready. But boy, I wasn't ready at all. Not by a long shot. Out of the 5 of us, I glided the 3rd farthest. But I also did so right into an old barn settlement. Broke my leg in 12 places. Ouch! After that, well, I learned to take things a bit more seriously and to prepare. Listen, Joe, I don't know how much power the AI still has, or how much this visit is using, but just to be sure, we should probably say goodbye for now. Do me a favor, though, won't you? Put my mind to ease. Try to find out what happened. I don't want to fade away thinking we duped ourselves from the start. I will. I appreciate it. Hopefully when I see you again, the 4 of us will have made more progress, but until then, stay safe out there. Then you meet him in another facility. He's nothing like his hologram. Maybe. Well, the hologram hasn't gone mad, right? The other guy might have gone mad, either from toxicity, or being alone for so long, having to fend for himself, etc. But yeah, I think he might still be alive. And we're going to Colony B, which I think is the last one. Well, all these people seem to have taken about a half hour each, so I should be able to visit Colony B and talk to Pierre before I clock off for the night. 6 a.m. UTC. As punctual as always, I see. Well, if you're up to it, we've got one more area to visit today. Coffee? I'll ensure that your shuttle has a fresh coffee pot ready when you leave. You should come to the core for now, though, so we can get started. Why did you make me go to the core? I mean, it's not that far. But still. You're just going to tell me that I got one more place to visit. And I know that already. Well, today should be an easy choice. There's only one area left to check for now. However, I've been picking up rumblings of another storm on its way. You can access your ship as usual in the South Shuttle Bay. Please do be careful out there. I think Penta keeps calling you to the core room just to show you who wears the boss pants in this facility. I think you're right. I think Penta wants me to know that Penta's in command. I am not in command. Penta's in command. Alright, let's go, Joe. Where is it? There it is. Colony B. Yep. It's the farthest one away. This is the farthest I've been. We still don't really have fuel because we couldn't find anything in the caves. Well, we're finally here. Colony B. I haven't seen this facility since the Rift event blocked off all access. Only with the recent seismic activity has it been possible to come here again, and yet I very much prefer not to. Unfortunately, coming back is quite necessary. Today you'll need to find 4 useful parts for the escape ship's thrusters. Please be careful. Oof. That does not look good. The alien language seems to be like Star Wars or something. It's dark in there, isn't it? It will be difficult for you to find anything to scan like that. I imagine a lot of the facility won't work without some backup power. So find backup power is what you're saying. Central corridor locked. South service corridor locked. I guess that's made my choice easy. Use maintenance hatch, yes. Oh no! Maintenance hatches. This is where the alien hunts you. I know you guys played Alien Isolation. But you can't hide in the hatches too long. That maintenance hatch is locked. To server room beta. So far, this has been a very linear journey. Inspect power cable. Ah, it looks like you found the problem in this area. There is power here, but this connection is loose. Are you going to reconnect the power cable? Yes. You reconnected the power cable already. Yay. So now, things should open. Ah! What? There's limited power again in that area. Try looking around now that you can see. Well, I found something immediately. We scanned the body of Facility Services Supervisor Leon Robertson. It looks like he was crushed by debris. He likely died a mercifully quick death. Mr. Robertson supervised the day-to-day maintenance of Colony B under Chief William King. He probably had a tough time keeping that place running smoothly. Yes, I will use this maintenance hatch. Check server array. Some of the data servers are still functioning. That one looks like a master array, but it's inaccessible right now. If you can find the access card that it requires, we can read some of the data there and perhaps uncover more of what happened. Sounds good. Good work. Your scan of that component will help us repair the escape ship's thrusters. Without this data, the thrusters wouldn't be able to hold the charge for long. Now we only need 3 more thruster parts and you can get out of there. That server rack has been completely eaten away and disabled by the elements, but it looks like someone was trying to modify it somehow. There's a busted portable generator and extra networking equipment in that mess. It's like someone was trying to send a signal. Okay. So we'll definitely be coming back to this room. Alien Isolation, another breath-holding game. I actually did hold my breath during those moments. Yeah. I didn't play it because I'm a chicken, but I've watched other people play it, like on Let's Play streams. And yeah, it's freaking terrifying. Wait, there was a... Yeah, there we go. Those tubes delivered waste materials that were to be repurposed or stored for reuse in the future. Quite a bit never got recycled. Indeed. You can visit those other 2 routes. That's outside already. Oh, it's still locked. The South Service Corridor. Central Service Corridor is on there. Oh no! Looks like you've scanned the broken remains of machine operator Santwali Terzi. He and his teams maintain the drone. I believe he's been dead since 2058, likely due to the major seismic event that created the rift and led to the collapse of Colony B. There's a single file on a datapad in his pocket. It seems to reference Director Pierre Tom. I can pull a tiny bit of audio from it for you. Drone team's no longer functioning. Disorder is creeping in everywhere. We're trying so very hard, but without resources, we can't get ahead. The chief is working to exhaustion, but he seems distracted by something. Worst of all is, Tong abandoned us. Where did he go? Oh no, Tong. Why would you do that, Pierre? Secondary storage. East service car. Okay, let's do the secondary storage real quick. The storage area has almost completely been reduced to rubble. How terrible. Well, that is truly awful. There are bodies underneath that rubble. I can't read their signatures or know who they are. This is terrible, Joe. I wish we didn't have to live through all this refuse and see all this. Yes, access card. It's worn-looking old. It's a worn-looking old server access card. Someone must have dropped it in all the chaos. You scanned a part that we can use for reference in the escape ship's fuel line, so thrusters don't run out of power. Excellent work. I only need 2 more thruster parts. Excuse me. Looks like that part of the colony is also without power. Maintenance hatch. Primary storage is locked. Main server room is locked. Okay, hold on, hold on. Really? Interesting. That is not the case for me. Every death is terrifying. The power conduit has been separated by the seismic activity. You'll need to reconnect to restore power. Are you going to reconnect the power conduit? Of course! Is there anything to scan in this room? Or is it just to turn on the power? Okay. Okay, now these doors should be unlocked, right? Yeah, primary storage. You scanned an elaborate set of schematics that somebody drew. It looks like they were drafted by hand. Very skillfully, too, I might add. It's difficult to ascertain what the schematics are for. They're incomplete and very complex. This is only half of this drawing. If I were to hazard a guess, I'd say they would pertain to the escape ship. However, if you can find the other half, this could be good news for us. Will do. I will look for the other half. Anything else in this room? Oh. These overflow bins used to contain extra supplies and tools. They've been completely cleaned out, probably quite some time ago. Okay. Anything else? Nope. You done with this room? Alright. This one is still locked. Okay, so we have to go back. I've got that access card. So that should... This way. Oh no. What was that? Sorry. Yeah, that was the first... No, you're right. No, wait, this wasn't it. That was the right way. Sorry. I got confused. Because it looks very similar. That was the right way. There we are. Yeah, this is right. Okay. Here we go. Okay, the server accepted the access card. There are details here that never got synced. With me after the rift event separated the 2 colonies. Oh no. These logs say that 14 colonists were killed on that day alone. I didn't know that. Project leader Pierre Tong was there at the time. You would think with his charisma and position, he would have been able to maintain order. According to maintenance logs, the colony became impossible to maintain very quickly. Several mentioned that Mr. Tong was no longer present. I don't believe we can get any more useful information from that server. Okay, but how do we open those doors then? Locked doors. Oh, I don't think I went in here, did I? Oh, I did. This is where I turned the power on, right? Yeah. Never mind. I came in here the one time, and that was it. Let's go back. Why? Why can't I unlock doors? Oh, it is unlocked. Okay. Wonder when that happened. Electrical room. Maintenance workroom. I will take the spanner. Good idea. You're going to take that rusted old spanner? Of course. It must have belonged to Mr. Robertson. Not to be unkind, but he doesn't need it anymore. Hopefully it will help you along the way. And here is the other half. This is an immaculately drafted set of schematics. It appears to match the other set you found. There are notes regarding thrusters and fuel conservation. Craftsmanship really is top-notch. It was probably made with just a pencil and a simple straight edge. Even the circular lines are near perfect. Whoever made that is quite skilled. Sometimes human precision ability really impresses me. When you visit Mr. Tong in the Hollow Sim Chamber, I suggest you ask him about these. Perhaps he can help explain them to us. Look at the shelves. The shelves have been completely picked clean. It's possible that with no outside access, the colonists ran out of supplies long ago. Okay. Let's go to the electric room. Electrical room, excuse me. Oh no. Oh my, those blackened remains belong to mechanical engineer Sasha Kaminsky, if your scan is correct. Ms. Kaminsky was an excellent engineer, though her records mention several minor accounts of insubordination towards maintenance chief William King. She must have got caught in a severe electrical current when that room was destroyed. What a terrible waste of a good mind. Well, I clearly can't pass there because you can't proceed through there until you shut off the current. It's dangerous. Yeah. That's what I thought. Wait, sorry. Can I shut off the current here? Use electrical panel, yes. This panel controls some of the power grid. Do you want to shut it down? Yes. There we go. Yes. We can pass through here, and finally... It is fortunate for us that the colonists found no need for this scrapped motor. Its data can be used for the ship's thrusters. Now we only need one more thruster part and you can get out of there. Okay. Should I turn it back on? Yes. Just in case I need the power for, like, the rest of that place. There. Can't seem to go to the left. Okay. Now we need to go to the right. Yes. There's another locked door here somewhere. Oh, sorry. I don't want to walk over you. There's a locked door over here. There you go. Means yes. Let's see if the spanner you found will work on that door. I'm sorry to say you've scanned the body of Maintenance Chief William King. Judging by the remains, he sustained several life-threatening injuries. However, the position of the body suggests that somehow he brought himself to that room despite his condition. He must have really wanted to accomplish something. Beside Mr. King, there's a small children's book. Its cover depicts an idyllic farm scene in watercolor. Oh man. In the scene, a girl with reddish hair is surrounded by several animals. A goat, a pig, and a sheep are lying down, as if they're sleeping. The server rack has a small LED readout that shows a grazing cow icon. Do you want to put the server in sleep mode? No, hold on. Server switch C, B, A, D, E. Okay, what was it? Hold on. A goat, a pig, and a sheep are lying down. Okay, goat, pig, and sheep. Yes. Goat and pig. Yes. Goat. No. I need to do goat. No. Yes. Yeah. Do you hear that? It sounds like a modified distress signal from William King. Short and set to repeat. It's difficult to make out, so I'll read it to you. 2W. Things are bad here, I'm afraid. Not much time now. Hoping you. This over there. Oxygen is low. You're smart, strong. You were right to leave. Tong is something new. But it's too late. Too much is compromised. Obviously stuff is missing there. Goodbye, W. I'm afraid the transmission cuts off there. And only sounds of rumbling and shouting can be heard. What an unfortunate end for Mr. King. He appears to have used his last moments to contact someone. I wonder if he was successful. Oh, Joe, take a look. I think the server rack to the south end of the room is open now. That 3D stabilization system gives me this reference I need to construct something similar for our ship. It will help keep the thrusters steady. Okay, you've successfully found everything we need for today. Please let's not stick around any longer than we have to. We should come home. A lazy buffalo. No. Sorry. Tong seems to have just bugged out, huh? Or he died somewhere and nobody found his body. I did that, yeah. I did all this already. I did all this, right? Oh yeah, so I turned the power back on. And then immediately went to that room on the side. Okay. We're out! A lot more dead people in this one. Exit Colony B. I fear that was not the worst of it. There was so much damage and death, but we need to get working on those thrusters, so come back right away. Happens after that. We still don't have any fuel though. I mean, there's a fifth thing that I haven't been to yet. Excellent work, Joe. You've been successful at every mission so far. This is really going to help us. Come see me as usual so I can process these findings and plan our next move. Of course, Penta. Joe, do you hear the storm outside? Oh, I hear it. My controller's rumbling. I thought you might. The wind has really picked up, and it's getting increasingly hostile out there. The weakening of the planet has caused a violent new storm system to come our way. This wind is just the beginning. You should still be able to have one of your extracurricular meetings, but if I believe your safety is compromised, I'll have to shut things down. Since you went to Colony B, you'll be able to visit Mr. Tong in the Holosynth Chamber tonight. Be mindful this evening. I would hate to see our last remaining home damaged the way Colony B was. Interesting that Colony B seems so unsettled in Penta. Yeah. I mean, I guess Penta was built to care about, you know, the human, I assume we're human, the human colonists, and to have them all, you know, be dead, basically. Pride doesn't make Penta feel very good. Joe, please wake up. We may not have much time tonight. I was hesitant to let you go into the chamber, but the storm has calmed a bit, and I didn't want you to miss out. I know how much these visits mean to the hologram, so as long as you don't take too long, you should be okay. But when your meeting is over tonight, please head straight to your quarters. I fear the storm may get worse again any minute. Stay safe tonight, Joe. Does that mean I can't have the full conversation like I had with the others? I hope not. Time. Well, hey there, Joe. Is it AF4B3B told me all about how you and your visit to Colony B today? Oh, is AF4B3B the name of the action of the AI? I prefer Penta. Told me all about you and your visit to Colony B today. How are you holding up? Glad I'm back. Me too, and it's nice to finally meet you. I've just been working away here in my little simulated office. Listen, I hope you can help me out. As I work in here, I realize I have so many gaps in my memory, and it's frustrating. You probably know that at some point the real me left Colony B. After that, the AI couldn't keep an updated image on me, so I don't know what I did. I'm worried about what happened. I mean, did I abandon everyone? That's all I can think about. So please, what did you see out there today? Bodies, destruction. Bodies. Damn it. I remember what happened when the Rift event killed so many people. We were all shocked. I took it badly. I know that. I had drones working to recover bodies for a while, but we couldn't really spread the resources. People wanted that closure. I just don't think I wanted to see them. Every body we found was like a personal failure. And without our connection to AF4B3B, aka Penta, we couldn't communicate with your facility. We started to feel hopeless. You could tell some of the workers started to think differently about me then. I was stressed, overworked, but I guess we all were. The place was chaos. It was around then that I started to feel that perhaps I wasn't as well equipped for the job as I thought. What else did you see out there today? Destruction. That is awful. The Rift event disrupted most of our facilities all at once. It was a huge struggle to keep things running. We lost dozens of drones and, well, more than a few workers. Good people, too. Engineers and supervisors. I had to step in to fill the gaps. But there was only so much I could do, you know? I thought people would be able to pick themselves up and move on to stay alive, but not everyone could. Especially me. I was very close to the resource manager, Jean Lamumba, back then, but the destruction affected even our relationship. We have very differing opinions on how to deal with things, you know? I think our fight is probably a big reason I took off. I'm sorry. We're both very stubborn. I don't know how we ever got along in the first place, being so pig-headed, but that's not an excuse. What else did you see out there today? Please, the AI seems reluctant to talk about it, and I can't get answers. I just want to know what happened after I left. Dealing with the deceased and wounded put enough strain on our resources as it was, but our connection to AF4B3B was cut as well. That meant we had no contact with the Colony A, your facility, and after a long while without outside contact, things were dire. I recall sitting in my office one night, the real version of this simulated room. I was completely defeated. But I was supposed to be the director, you know? I had to get it together, put on a good face, so I carried on as best I could. Being the person that everyone is counting on isn't easy, is it? I mean, you know this now. You're all that's left of this mess. But I'm beginning to see that you're the kind of person who can deal with stress. It's actually kind of comforting. But what if you weren't dealing with all this? Say back on Earth, any hobbies, personal likes? Reading. Big reader, are you? That was one of the best ideas we had for the project. Stocking the network with thousands and thousands of digital books. Listen, I know our time here is limited, and I've been going on and on, but you coming here to spend time, it means a lot to me, and I appreciate you listening. But there must be something I can actually help you with. Anything you wanted to know more about? Schematic. What are these schematics? I seem to recall something I was working on, but not clearly. Let's see. These are definitely mine, but if I had access to network systems, I would have used them. Why would I have hand-drawn these? Unless I may have drawn these up after the Rift event. They look like they're for a new way to reduce fuel usage in the thrusters for takeoff. I like to believe I was still trying to help out the survivors. I don't want to think that I just gave up on them. More importantly, though, you might be able to use these to yourself. If you find any more schematics like these, please bring them to me. What else can we discuss? AF4B3B. It's asleep now, isn't it? I almost feel bad talking about it behind its back. But I can tell you more, sure. I didn't design the AI, that was another engineer back on Earth, but I sure came to enjoy its company and insights once we arrived here. The neat thing about AF4B3B is that it's so powerful. Given the resources, it can be paying attention to almost everyone on the new colony at once. It's like everyone had a friend at their side, though I guess not everyone saw it that way. Some colonists never gelled with the AI. I think part of the reason was that we didn't give it a more human name. It ended up being less relatable than Hudson Cartier hoped. That's why I call it Penta. Come to think of it, I can't even remember what its name means anymore. Most people just gave it their own nickname, and it didn't seem to mind. We're all stuck in here. Just having the AI with you out there must be some comfort, at least. That companionship is important. What else can we discuss? Escape ship. You are very focused, I'll give you that. Sure, I can tell you a little more about the ship. There were only 2 ships in the project, one in each colony. We couldn't bring more with us. They were complex, delicate, and cumbersome. When the Rift event tore our colony apart, the first thing I checked was the escape ship. It was a complete loss. I was horrified. Some of the colonists thought we should be putting resources and drones towards building more escape ships after we were up and running smoothly. I could understand that, but we couldn't afford it. It took everything just to process the planet's own resources and run the terraforming operation. The escape ships weren't meant as large-scale lifeboats. They could only fit a few people. But that's more than enough for you and the AI. I'm going to succeed, Joe. I just know it. And I promise you, I'll do everything I can to help you. Well, listen, it's late and you shouldn't eat up too many of the facility's cycles on this visit. You need to get back out there tomorrow. Joe, I thank you for stopping by. I hope I'm able to provide some insight into what happened. If you can, though, I must have tried to help people out. I have to believe that. If you find any more schematics, proof that I tried to help, please let me know. I will. That's what I like to hear. Until next time, I'll be waiting. Alright, so now that we visited 4 places, what are we supposed to do tomorrow? Alright, so I'll go to sleep and then see what Penta has to tell me in the morning. And then we might stop. I actually don't know how much longer this game goes. It doesn't seem like a super long game. Go to bed for the night. Day 5. Well, the facility doesn't seem to be looking like it seems to be getting worse, right? Like stuff's falling off the side. Day 5. I think he's gonna wake up. Penta's gonna tell me that, oh shit, we gotta go now. The storm is still pretty bad. Uh-oh. Joe, wake up! I hate to be the bearer of bad news so early, but it appears we have a problem. What's up? That storm I mentioned moved in very quickly and violently while you were sleeping. Oh, sorry. While you were sleeping, it passed directly through here. The colony suffered some damage. You probably heard quite a din. Colony A is mostly intact, but it was a close call. I'm afraid you won't be able to set out anywhere today. It's just too dangerous. It's just too dangerous outside. I need your help here. We need to make sure our equipment is still operational. Please come with me. Okay. Maybe I'm meant to romance the holograms? I'm not 100% sure. As you can see, the place is a real mess. You're lucky that your room was unscathed. In any case, I've unlocked the ship hangar. I need you to go in and make sure the ship is okay. There's a note here. I can't read it, though. Oh no, what if the escape ship got mushed? Okay, the hangar doesn't seem too bad. I hope the ship is alright. That's a pretty good looking ship, I gotta say. The thruster casings appear to be intact. The booster shell looks undisturbed as well. I don't detect any loose components. Oh, that's good. The escape ship appears to be okay. That's such a relief. Next, let's make sure the shuttle is still functioning. Leave the hangar and go south to inspect the shuttle. Alright. Okay, let's see what we have here. Nothing impacted the shuttle itself, and the bay looks unharmed. Great, okay, the shuttle is still functional. We can send you out on missions again later. Now let's just confirm that the holosib chamber hasn't taken any damage. Head to the chamber just outside there, please. Will do. Well, it's still in standby mode. My own connection suggests no degradation or loss of data. Everything else checks out too. That's a relief. We managed to make it through this quite unscathed. We should be thankful. Still, the storm is still out there. We can't go anywhere today. You might as well head back to your quarters. Alright. Yeah, maybe I'm meant to romance the holograms. Maybe, like, this first time was just to get to know everybody, and then I have to choose who to, like, every other day I have to choose who to talk to, maybe? Joe, are you okay? I have some news for you. You must have been exhausted. You fell asleep and have been here all day. I'm sure you needed it, so I didn't bother you. I completed all my internal systems checks. Thankfully, the colony's intact for now. We should be able to get you out there again tomorrow, but I know today has been a particularly stressful day and, well, I was hoping to do this another time, but considering today's events, I just couldn't wait. For what? For my surprise, of course, and since you couldn't go out today, what better time? You see, I noticed how much more at ease you've been since getting to spend time with the hologram recreations. And to be honest, they also seem to benefit from the interaction you've been having, even though they're merely simulations. So I prepared a special program for you inside the holosim chamber, something purely extracurricular. Thank you. You're very welcome, Joe. I thought you deserved a little time off. With whom would you like to spend time in the holosim chamber tonight? Aha! Winnie, Jean, someone else. Maybe I like Winnie. Winnie's the reader, and she was writing a story. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Winnie. Okay, I'll talk to Winnie and make sure she's available. I'm sure she's looking forward to it. I think so. I think you're right. I think I'm supposed to romance the holograms. All right. I don't know. Okay. Oh, okay. Hopefully there'll be a save. I think it just saved. I'm sure it just saved after I fell asleep. I'll have to enter the low power mode so you can use the chamber, of course. So I'll speak to you again in the morning. Have fun in there, Joe. I hope you enjoy this little bit of downtime. Bye, Penta. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Well, you know what? Let me do some of this. I want to see if I am supposed to romance the holograms. Maybe I can take them all with me. The programs when I leave. Oh wow, isn't it beautiful? This is a recreation of the Aurora Borealis from the Northern Hemisphere back home, the Northern Lights, which I want to see in person one day. The AI must have found this in one of the Holosim relaxation archives. I think it was one of the programs used to help us adjust to colony life. What do you think of it? It's great. I'm glad you think so. When you're cooped up in the colony, being able to look up at such a wonderful, vast sight really is a treat. The neat thing about the lights is they're just a happy accident. Gas particles from Earth mixed with charged particles from the sun, and voila. It's like somebody created the most beautiful painting by spilling something, you know? I think that's what makes this so wonderful. So I see she has like an ear, like, I wonder if that's like a hearing aid? Anyway, I could go on and on, but we have some time now, just to ourselves. I don't want to spoil it. What's on your mind? How are you? Oh, well, I guess I'm okay, all things considered. The AI has kept me busy. This little break certainly is nice. To be honest, I've been thinking a lot. I mean, more than usual. I know I asked you to help me try to understand what happened to me. And I still want to know, but I guess the more time I spend in here, the less it seems to matter. I realize that as much as I want to fill in those memories I don't have, well, I like the fact that I'm making new memories too. And I know that I have a job to do. I'm here to help you succeed and to survive. But after we met last time, I couldn't help but think, well, I guess what I'm trying to say is it's nice just to spend time like this. I agree. Good, I'm glad we agree on things. Is there anything else you want to talk about? I'm worried. You are? You mean about getting off the planet? You can talk about that if you like. I mean, if it will help. Comms device? Oh, maybe. What are you worried about the most? Being alone. Oh, is that what's making this endeavor difficult so far? The feeling of loneliness? I can tell you that it's one of those things. Sometimes you're okay with it, sometimes you're not. It's hard to control, you know? And everyone is different. You're 100% right, Winnie. For example, some of the other crew, they could go weeks, it seemed, without ever talking to anyone. Some people are just comfortable, I guess. They're okay with that. But what about you? Do you like being alone? Sometimes, I guess. I think I'm the same. Although now, well, I like the company a lot more, I guess. Is there anything else you want to talk about? You tell me. Well, yeah, there is one thing. Listen, I'm sorry to ask this, but the AI told me about you finding William, you know, over in Colony B. I'm so sorry. Thank you, I appreciate that. If we could, just for a moment, I need to ask you something. William, he was pretty special, and it's just that hearing about his death was pretty hard to take. We kept in touch when we could, I guess. We kind of had an understanding. I found it easier to talk to him than some of the other colonists. It was hard to make friends sometimes, and he was such a good listener, kind of like you, I guess. But you know, he had his wife back on Earth, remember? And so, well, I mean, we were just friends. Aw. I guess I just want to know what you found. I mean, the AI said he had been trying to send a message. Did he say anything? I don't know. He loved you? Can I say that? I don't think he did say that. I mean, I think the message was to her, but I don't think he said anything about love. I see, that makes sense. The AI said it didn't understand his message. I guess it was kind of lost. I guess we'll never know. Yeah, I'm sorry, Winnie. He was very degraded. Okay, I'm sorry to make you answer that. I just had to know so I could put it behind me. Please, let's not talk about William anymore. We may not have much time, you know? Let's just keep focused on the present. You know, these simulations, I mean, this is so beautiful, but haven't you noticed? It's not even cold. I guess when these programs were designed, they weren't meant to be completely realistic. If you ended up cold or uncomfortable, why would you use it? Still, I feel that it's sort of part of the package. They are the Northern Lights, after all. And it is meant to be quite cold out here. I do have one other thing I wanted to mention. The AI prepared this special simulation tonight, and, well, it's beautiful, of course. I guess I just just wanted to know. You could have chosen anyone tonight, right? And well, why me? I like you. I see. Thank you for saying so. I like spending time with you too. Well, Joe, I hate to admit it, but I guess I should let you get to sleep. There's still a long journey ahead of you. Thanks for coming to visit, and well, thanks for talking to me about William. Until next time, I guess. Please be careful out there. I will. I hope so, and I'll do my best in here. Take care for now. Oh, that was nice. Yeah, so I guess I'm supposed to romance the holograms. I hope I can take them with me. Like, just load their programs into the escape ship, along with Penta, and then we can all go together. And then, because I mean, they're clearly sentient. They know who and what they are, and they're like she said, she's making new memories. The holo system has some narrative design gaps. What do you mean? You're probably right, but what do you mean? Alright, I will stop here. I just want to see, like, do I get to choose where I get to go next? Hey, the alarm went off this time. Maybe Penta becomes the holo you choose when you escape. Oh, maybe. What a week. Well, Joe, what did you think of that special something? Go away, trophy. Well, Joe, what did you think about the special simulation last night? It was great. That is wonderful to hear. I thought you could use a pick-me-up after the stress of last week. In any case, the week has already passed, and as the increasing story activity has shown, our situation remains difficult. We still have a lot of work to do. Come see me in the course so we can get started once again. Alright. Design gaps, not cold. Oh, yes. Oh, I thought you meant, sorry, I thought you meant like in the game sense. Like the game had narrative design gaps. Not the holodeck. Do I get to choose where I go this time? With a week already gone, we need to step things up a bit. The recent storm has me worried. The holograms have made some progress with the escape ship, but it just isn't ready yet. I'm afraid I'm going to have to send you out again this week. There are some resources we badly need. You can access the medical wing of Colony B, which might lead us to some necessary medical supplies. You can also head to Tower E of the comms relay, where we can try to send a distress signal deep into space. Another facility, the agrodomes is open. We need you to head there to find a way to extend your food supply. And you can also reach the Caves refinery now. It's imperative that we find more fuel for the ship if possible. As always, the choice is yours. You can plot. Okay, so I go back to the 4 places again, but different places from the 4 places. You can plot a course at any one of these locales from shuttle. All right. Well, we will stop here. Now I know what this game is. So basically, we'll go to the places again and see more things. But I will stop here. Any progress since your last save will be lost. Are you sure you want to quit? Yes. Restart? I mean, you're going to save my game, right? Yeah, so this is the guy, Benjamin something. I forgot his name already. Sorry. You better have a continue option. I'll be very angry. Continue. Yes, okay, good. Benjamin Rivers, that was his name. Where are you going to start me off? As soon as I wake up, I said, yeah, okay. All right, that's fine. That's where I start off. Good. The system decided that having you find campfires to light and keep warm might be too annoying. Good point. All right, so this actually is a really good game. I know I've been saying this about a couple of games, but I will definitely finish this as well. Maybe even tomorrow, because tomorrow I'm actually going to take a break from streaming. I'm not going to stream anything tomorrow. I know, you guys are going to be so sad without me, but I'll come back on Saturday, refreshed, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. That's it. For more Paper Mario. Paper Mario's next. We'll do Paper Mario on Saturday, and I might finish it on Saturday. Like I feel like I'm very close to the end, so I might finish it on Saturday. If not, I think I definitely will finish it on Sunday, unless they throw another dungeon in front of me that I didn't know even existed, right? But it seems like it really feels like I'm very close to the end. So yeah, but anyway, Paper Mario on the weekend, probably Saturday and Sunday, and then back to Ghost of Tsushima on Monday and Tuesday, and then Wednesday we'll go back to the regularly scheduled Adan plays through his backlog, and the next game is going to be Another World, which is supposed to be, all I know about it is that it's a platformer of some kind, like an old school platformer that was originally on PC. but I don't know much else about it. Like I don't know how. Like is it gonna be like a super hard platformer, like a lot of the like early NES stuff, or is it gonna be like more a simpler one? You know, I don't know. We'll see. If it's too difficult, I might quit early, but we'll see. And if I do quit early, then we'll also play Arise next week, which is thematically proper because it's a game about death. And as I mentioned yesterday when we played Detention, it is Hungry Ghost Month here in Singapore. So yeah, so it might be Another World, it might be Arise. We'll see. Streaming can be taxing, especially yes. This game had a lot of text, so there was a lot of reading, and my mouth went dry at many points. And if you noticed, I started slurring my words towards the end there, like just now. But anyway, thank you so much. I won't see you tomorrow, but I will see you on Saturday. And let me get this thing properly done so that I don't have to awkwardly wait for too long. Okay, bye-bye. Thanks for joining, guys. See you later. Bye-bye. See you on Saturday.